Hello, my friends, it's Danny. Happy New Year. I am super excited to kick this year off sharing 10 healthy foods I always have in my refrigerator to make healthy meals and snacks throughout the week. Now, if you remember, I did share a video that was very similar to this last year, but I wanted to have an updated version that you guys could use to reference all throughout the year. And if you like this style of video, we can also make one for the pantry and for the freezer as well. So be sure you come down to the comments below and let me know if that's something that interests you. So without any further ado, the very first food you will always find in my refrigerator is my beloved crudité. Now, if you have been watching for many years, then you know that my husband and I created a habit of cutting up a handful of fresh chopped vegetables on the weekend, and then we turn to these vegetables all week long for really, really easy meal ideas. Now, we do change the veggies up depending on the season, but when I'm not thinking about it, my go-to core vegetables are cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, celery, fennel, and radishes. What I do is I have these two big airtight containers. I line the bottom of each one with some paper towels, and then we wash and prep all of the vegetables. Now, lots of you have asked me over the years, but don't the vegetables dry up by the end of the week? And honestly, the broccoli and the cauliflower hold up really well. The carrots and the celery and the radishes, they tend to begin to dry up by the end of the week, but certainly not in a way that is a game changer. For us, it's well worth having them on hand, even if they're a little bit dried by the end of the week, than not having them at all. But that is obviously a personal decision. Now, I reach for this veggie bin several times a day. A few of my go-to staples include chopping up some of the cauliflower and the broccoli to make really easy breakfast scrambles. I make a really simple chicken or tuna or salmon salad using all of these vegetables as the base. I just give them a rough chop, mix them with whichever of those proteins I just mentioned, give it a little Greek yogurt or mayo, salt and pepper, and you've got this really delicious, fast, easy weekday lunch. A lot of times when my kids come home from school, I'll reach into this bin just to create a really simple snack plate for them. I might put some hummus, some fresh fruit, olives, cheese. It always changes up, but having the veggies ready to grab is the key. A lot of times I'll put them into my children's lunch boxes, or if I'm making like a really simple dinner, like something from the freezer, like a pizza, it's a great way to also put some vegetables on the table, right? So frozen pizza with hummus and vegetables. It's just kind of that repetitive practice of getting veggies on the plate. One other idea that I really love to do with these vegetables is I will use my microwave steamer. I just put them all right on this tray with a little bit of water, pop them in the microwave till they're nice and tender. It only takes a few minutes. Then I toss them with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and this is absolutely delicious. It makes a great side dish. It's also delicious chopped up and stuffed inside of a quesadilla. So many different ways we turn to these veggies throughout the week, and I will say that these vegetables definitely make up about 60% of my veggie intake for the week. Speaking of vegetables, the second ingredient you will always find in our refrigerator is some dark leafy greens. Now, this usually consists of two different things. I almost always have a pre-washed bin of baby spinach in the fridge ready to go. And then I also like to buy some kale, whichever one looks the freshest and most delicious. I give it a wash, I chop it up, and I put it in an airtight container. Side note, did you know that the #1 ingredient missing from the American diet is dark leafy greens? So I'm always trying to find fun, easy ways to work it into our diet. And my friends, let me tell you, I think one of the easiest ways to do that is a really simple smoothie. One of our family favorite green smoothies is to take a big handful of baby spinach, get that in the bottom of the blender, add a cup of frozen strawberries, a scoop of your favorite vanilla protein powder. Then you can add some almond or some oat milk to that, along with a couple extra ice cubes if you like it nice and thick and creamy, and then blend that up. It's a really light, bright, family-friendly smoothie that both of my kids enjoy, and so do my husband and I. And if you wanted to kick it up another notch, you could also add like a tablespoon of peanut butter or almond butter. So good. Now, another way I like to use these greens is very similar to my crudité. I'll add them to a morning scramble, or I might add them into my tuna or my chicken salad. Another great way to add a little bit of life to a simple meal is to take a can of your favorite soup, like a lentil soup, and just add some fresh chopped greens. Not only is it delicious, but it breathes some life into the dish, and I feel like it just makes it more delicious and definitely more nutritious. And then one last idea, and this is something that we do a lot, is a really simple kale kale salad. So I'll take a handful or two of the kale, I'll give it a pinch of salt, a squish of lemon, a little bit of olive oil, massage that all together, and then it's delicious just like this. Or maybe I'll throw a few berries over the top, or maybe a chopped hard-boiled egg. Again, very simple, but really delicious and super satisfying. There's so many options with the leafy greens, but again, half the battle is just having them in the fridge and ready to go. Next up are my eggs. We usually have a dozen in the fridge ready to go to make things like scrambles and omelets and egg muffins. And then I will also usually have a dozen or so hard-boiled and ready to go for snacks. A lot of times the hard-boiled eggs will end up in lunch boxes. I'll chop them and put them on top of a salad. I might slice them and put them on top of some sprouted bread, toasted up with some avocado. That is definitely a personal favorite of mine. I also love making a really easy egg salad. So again, I just chop up my eggs, a little bit of celery. I usually add some baby spinach to this as well. Give it some Greek yogurt, a dollop of mayo, salt, pepper. So simple, insanely delicious. So as you can already start to see how a lot of these ingredients, these staple foods, are just starting to overlap and play off of each other. I do think that is a really important tip, especially if you're new to eating well or you're trying to build some healthier eating habits into your lifestyle. Let it be easy, especially at the beginning. Find some really simple, easy meals that you can enjoy, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. The less you have to think about it, the more sustainable it becomes. Moving right along, the fourth food you will almost always find in our refrigerator is some type of sprouted bread and or tortilla. Now, I really like the sprouted breads for two reasons. One, they're a lot heartier than a traditional bread, and they take a lot longer for your body to break down and assimilate and digest. And so I find that it keeps me feeling satisfied and satiated for a much longer period of time. So I really like that. Number two, they don't tempt me. Sprouted bread does not tempt me the way a traditional bread would, even a whole grain bread. For some reason, if there's any type of soft, fluffy bread in the house, all I want to do is cook it up and put butter on it instead of eating just about any other meal that exists. So that's just something I know about myself. And so I don't have that experience with sprouted bread. I enjoy it and it really works for me. Now, that's not to say that we never buy other types of bread. We do. We all love a good whole grain bread. My husband and my kids really love a sourdough bread. But again, my personal preference is the sprouted bread. And a few of my go-to favorites to make with it, number one, I will just toast it up, put a little almond butter over the top and maybe some fresh sliced berries, or maybe I'll do some fresh sliced bananas with a little bit of cacao nib over the top, a little pinch of sea salt. Delicious. Another favorite is we'll make a really simple garlic bread. So I'll toast it up, rub a garlic clove over the top, drizzle it with some olive oil, give it a pinch of sea salt, and then we'll cut these into strips and serve them if we're making something like soup for dinner. It's just a nice way to have a little crunch, a little something hearty on the side. Another way I love to use this bread, and I've shared this on the channel before, it's like one of my favorite 3-ingredient sandwiches. I buy the raisin sprouted bread, and then I do a little mashed avocado and some roasted turkey breast over the top. It hits all the taste buds. It's the salty, the sweet, the savory. I mean, it really is like a little party in your mouth and could not be any easier to make. If I don't have the raisin bread and I have a more traditional, like the sesame, then I might do the avocado with a little bit of chopped up chicken over the top, pinch of salt and pepper. Again, really easy, but really delicious and really satisfying. And if we happen to have the tortillas on hand, then quesadillas become a go-to in our house, especially when the kids have activities and we need something fast for dinner. I might pull some of the vegetables out of my veggie bin, steam them up like I showed you earlier, and stuff those into a quesadilla, or I might take some chopped up chicken, which we'll get to, I almost always have that in my fridge as well, and put that into the quesadilla. So again, lots of easy meal options to turn to. The 5th ingredient you will always find in my refrigerator is some type of nut butter. It's usually almond butter, but I love them all. Peanut butter, cashew butter, sunflower seed butter. I do not discriminate. You do want to keep in mind that whenever you're buying your nut butters, the only ingredient that needs to be in there is whatever type of nut it is and perhaps some salt. There really doesn't need to be any added oils or any added sugars. So when you buy your nut butters, you want to look for the all natural natural variations again, and they are just going to have that very minimal ingredient list. Now there's so many ways to enjoy nut butter. I mean, you can obviously just take a spoonful and enjoy. I love after school, one of my kids' favorite snacks is I'll either do some apples with cinnamon, nut butter on the side, or we will slice up a banana, put a little dollop of peanut or almond butter, and then a chocolate chip on each one. Pop it in the microwave for like 10 seconds, maybe 12, 15, depending on your microwave. And then you'll see it just warms everything up ever so slightly, and it makes the most delicious snack. That snack, by the way, is also delicious without the nut butter if you just do the chip on top of the banana. So options for everybody. Nut butters are also great, like drizzled over your oatmeal, added to your favorite smoothie, or even mixed into some Greek yogurt or some cottage cheese. All are absolutely delicious and definitely go-to favorites in our house. And you may have also noticed that I often use nut butter as the base for my gluten-free baking. So I have a recipe for chocolate chip cookies that are gluten-free using nut butter as the base, and the same for brownies. And I will, of course, link those recipes for you down in the description box below. Another staple you'll almost always find in my fridge is some plain organic Greek yogurt. Now, I especially love Greek yogurt when I have a sweet tooth because dairy has plenty of natural sugar in it. So it's a great way to curb a sweet tooth without going full-blown cookies and brownies. I usually either buy the full fat or the 2%. I think they're both great options. And some of our favorite ways to enjoy them is I'll cut up some fresh fruit or some berries for breakfast, add some chopped walnuts, and have a yogurt bowl. So simple, so delicious. Another favorite is to chop up some apples and add in some peanut butter. I like to call this one my apple pie yogurt bowl. It's so simple again and so delicious. My kids really love it when we stir some frozen berries. It just adds this cold, sweet bite to the yogurt that they really enjoy. And another thing I love to do with Greek yogurt is I use it as the base for my tuna and chicken salads, like I showed you earlier, or I'll take a big dollop of it, mix it with some sriracha, and then use that as a dip for veggies, or we'll put it on our eggs. Ooh, and I almost forgot, I also use the yogurt in some of my baking recipes as well, which I will link down in the description box below. One of my favorites being my baked blueberry lemon oatmeal cups. So good. The seventh thing you will always find in my fridge is hummus. Now, most often I will buy it pre-made at the grocery store, but sometimes we do make it from scratch. And I have shared that recipe with you all in the past and will of course link it down in the description box below. For the most part, we just use our hummus as a way to snack on our vegetables. So I'll take a big handful of the veggies from the crudité. I might chop up an apple to go with that, put some hummus on the plate, and it's ready to go. If I wanted to have like a snack plate for lunch, I would just bulk that up a little bit. Maybe I'll put some chopped chicken and some olives or some sliced cheese on there as well. It just makes a really easy, delicious snack plate. You can also put hummus on your sandwiches. So very simple, very basic, but delicious and so convenient. The eighth thing I always have in my refrigerator are some mixed fresh berries. Now, keep in mind, whenever you buy fresh berries, you never want to wash them as soon as you get them home, because once they're washed, they spoil very quickly. So sometimes I'll transfer them into a bowl, but we don't wash them until we're ready to eat them. Mostly we just enjoy these as they are. It's just a nice little snack, something to put on the breakfast plate or as a little snack plate after school. I do really love putting fresh berries into some of that Greek yogurt. That to me is delicious, a little sprinkle of cinnamon, or if I'm doing oatmeal, another great way to just kind of brighten up the dish and add some fresh flavor. But fresh berries are just about always in our refrigerator, depending what's on sale and what looks good. The ninth ingredient you will just about always find in our refrigerator is some roasted chicken. Now, a lot of times I will roast a chicken or two up on the weekend, or maybe I'll just do some chicken breasts and have it in the fridge as a Head Start ingredient. Other weeks I will lean on the grocery store and I'll get rotisserie chicken and cut that up and have that in the fridge ready to go. Some of the simple meal ideas that we use with the chicken, I've mentioned already. We'll do a simple chicken salad by pulling those vegetables from the crudité and some of that Greek yogurt. We will do simple quesadillas, or I might put the chicken on a snack plate. So again, very simple, very basic, but very delicious and amazing when you're in a time pinch. The 10th and final ingredient that's just about always in our refrigerator is some variety of milk. So my son, he is a big milk drinker. He likes a good old-fashioned organic, full-fat milk. So I always have that in the fridge, and that's really just for them to drink, or if I make some chocolate milk, or if they're having some oatmeal or cereal, right? Kind of old school, classic, always have it on hand. As for my husband and I, we tend to go back and forth between almond milk and oat milk. Oftentimes we do buy these from the grocery store, but a lot of times I try to make them from scratch. I don't know if you've ever made homemade almond milk before, but it's just so much better than anything you'll ever buy at the store, and it's really easy to do. I showed you all how to do that a few years back, so I'll link to that down in the description box below. And I also plan on showing you how to make homemade oat milk in just a couple of weeks. But if you're buying it at the store, that's perfectly fine too. What we like to do with our milks is we'll either use it in our coffee, I might put it on top of some cereal, which we don't have that often, but every now and then, there's just nothing like a bowl of cereal. I use it in my baked goods as well, so anytime any recipe usually calls for milk, I almost always use almond or oat milk. And we also use it for smoothies, as I showed you earlier. So that is it. Those are the 10 staples you will almost always find in our clean and delicious fridge. This is how I keep healthy eating pretty doable all week long. We keep it really simple. We let all of those ingredients play off of each other, and we get creative with the basics. Then from there, I might choose 1 or 2 more bulk size meals to add to that base, right? So I might make a big pot of chili or a big pot of soup or our favorite roasted chicken and vegetables, right? But I always have those 10 staples as a base to play off of all week long. Now, if you're interested in seeing the foods that we keep as staples in our freezer and or the foods I keep as staples in my pantry, make sure to come down to the comments below and let me know. And if you like this style video, please take a moment to give it a big thumbs up, take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with anybody else you know in your life who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year to you. I'm looking forward to all the things that come. I am Dani Spies, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers.